Yo, what's going on? Yeah, the room Max streams in. The circuit keeps tripping, and like the TV and the camera and all the stuff goes off. Just chilling. Priscilla's gonna join us in a minute. She said she had to take a bio break, so Max is also gonna join in a minute. You might have been first, BDO. Max is moving his stream over to the other room where the power doesn't keep screwing up. There it is. What's going on, ValorAndVellum Soonay fans? We're just chilling. Thank you for subscription long here. Hopefully your poker's going all right. Let's do a giveaway while we wait.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
We can do Mint 49 of Soonay Loves Wombat Teal birthday hats giveaway.
I'm pissed now.
I'll do the marble intro. It gets loud, so turn on your volume if you're not getting blasted. But here we
Let's get ready to rumble.
exclamation point play if you want to join the giveaway for the Soonay Wombat birthday.
Oh man, my circuit was tripping too. That's really funny. Is happening at the same time.
Different parts of the country can't get the power shit together.
Well, dude, it's crazy. Like, I mean, because of the way the outlets are laid out, like I have my projector and where my desk fits, I have all my computer plugged on the same circuit. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe I'm just doing too much at once. So I shifted it and I plugged my computer into a different circuit and it's still tripping. So now I don't think just my projector and the speakers are enough.
Holy shit. CS Soli's also rating. It's all the nerds unite all at once.
Yeah, I think this has got to be close to a new record.
Yeah, we got
the live
Soli raid. We got the ValorAndVellum raid. I'll show the prize we're giving away. Exclamation point play if you want to join. But we are giving away a Soonay Loves Wombat Teal birthday hats for the 3-year Wombat anniversary birthday. And we're just slow at giving stuff away, so that happened a couple weeks ago. Thank you for the subscription, Utopia. We appreciate it.
Man, I've been watching a bunch of Counter-Strike today, so I got distracted. Forgot we were about to stream. Oh, man.
I don't know what's up with the power here. I think it might be because they're doing construction next door, to be honest. I don't know. They're still doing construction on a Saturday, which pissed me off.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, I guess maybe they're just pulling on the whole grid. I'm not sure. I mean, you know, LA is not a small area. It's a lot of people on the packed in a small area.
Is live in 3 minutes. Let's get this race going, and then we'll flip our blend.
Oh, woof. God, I really hope I left some blend tokens in my wallet.
Have you seen Wimbledon? You mean like the tennis thing?
Oh no, don't spoil Wimbledon for me. Oh my gosh. Is it the final now? I think it's I can't believe Kyrgios like walked into the final with Nadal retiring. So I'm assuming it's
Counter Strike,
Kyrgios.
not tennis.
This is tennis. This is tennis.
It shows how much I know about both.
Yeah, like Djokovic is like arguably one of the best, like the best tennis player in the world. He and Rafa Nadal, and Nick Kyrgios is never like, he's like maybe a top 100 guy, but it's the first time he's ever been to the finals. But he's known for just getting crazy on tilt, and he'll get like super fucking pissed and start like screaming at ball boys or screaming at the line judge or like smash his racket and shit. So he's like a total wild card to watch. He's like a very talented player, but like he freaks out all the time. So I would love to see him in a final against arguably one of the best tennis players of all time. He's just gonna get fucking destroyed. But I don't know. I don't know the outcome, so don't ruin it for me.
He's only good on the grass, also beating his girlfriend.
Yeah, dude has some serious anger problems, and then he'll like he's like, clearly like a super raw talented guy where like he's just a really, really excellent athlete, but he doesn't have the discipline for tennis to be like, you know, the top 10 in the world. Oh, here we go. I think we got a Soonay here, or we got a Priscilla here. Jello.
Did someone order a Soonay?
Well, welcome to Neon Space.
Wow, we're putting a face to the name here. This is great.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Sorry I
joining
was a
us
little late.
after your marathon stream.
Yeah, I had to pee for like so long. Not that when I said like, oh, I need 5 minutes to pee, I realized like I wasn't peeing the full 5 minutes. I just need you guys to know that. I was just peeing for part of the 5 minutes. And then putting some stuff away. Hi, Sully. Hi.
Well, here at Neon Space, we definitely, nothing's off the table for discussion.
Oh, so it's okay to pee for 5? No judgment here? Is this a
No, this is a
judgment-free
judgment-free zone.
Oh, but only when it comes to like peeing for 5 minutes.
I guess we do judge quite a bit. We get pretty spicy.
I know. I was like, wait. As I said it, I was like, hang on, that's not right. That's not the stream I know and love. Wombat Sasha.
Man, I gotta say, I think this is close to all-time records for live viewers for Neon Space, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, Sully also raided into us right after you did.
Oh man, double raid.
Whole
What does it
Nerdy Night
mean?
gang all at once.
Oh, we got Sasha. Hey, Sasha.
Oh, Sasha's here. Look at all these celebrities, and Mr. Tufu is here of Skunky Chunks. We've got like all the celebrities in the chat right now. That's crazy.
You got your website pulled up.
Oh,
ready to go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna send you a link. Should I DM that through Discord maybe? Because there's
Discord works, or the private chat here.
Oh, private chat. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll put it in the private chat. That has like all my SDCC exclusives.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and we have this too.
That's super dope.
I wanted to do something since we were raiding over to you guys that looks kind of like neon spacey, without not like ripping you off or anything, but just, you know, an homage.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
So I guess we can give that away at some point during your stream. That's what I promised.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Maybe during like
super blend in 13 minutes, but I don't know. This is gonna be an off the rails interview stream because we got a lot going on.
Oh shoot! When's the blend? Is that now?
One just happened, and then we have another one in 12 minutes. But I don't think this one's gonna sell out immediately.
Oh, Jungle Bry's here too. Thank you, Bry. That's spacist. Oh my god, dad jokes. Love it.
So I guess we can just start the interview.
Oh, okay.
Our first question is always just like, how did you find wax and how did you find crypto? Did you like get into NFTs first, or were you doing crypto before you got into NFTs, and just what's your journey to find wax?
So it was really through like Funko and Sully pretty much. Because like, you know, once Funko announced that they were doing NFTs, suddenly like a lot of our interest was piqued because you know, the Nerdy Night community was pretty much based around like the Funko collecting community. And Sully is like the godfather of like the whole Nerds Unite, I guess like the crowd. So he started like talking about it a lot. I wasn't sure, you know, if I wanted to personally get into NFTs or not. I had to do like a lot of research because I don't know if you guys knew this, but like in the Comic-Con Artist Alley world, there's a lot of hate on NFTs for a bunch of different reasons. So I needed to go through and do research and see like how true it was and if it was right for me, if it was right for my brand and right for my art. But once I started looking into it, you know, I actually really liked what I saw. I like that it's like more environmentally friendly, carbon neutral. It seemed like the community was really cool, like not too snobby, like, you know, how it is kind of, in, you know, in the fine art world. It just seemed more down to earth and like a lot of collectors were there. So it just seemed like the right choice, not only to like for me to start collecting NFTs, but also for me to start making my own. And it was close to the same time that I started doing Soonay, like the designer toy, like the actual physical figure. And I kept getting a lot of requests from people because, you know, again, Funko was coming out with their stuff. So suddenly this was on everyone's radar. A lot of people were saying like, hey, will you do NFTs of Soonay? So, you know, between like all the requests and all that, it seemed like the right place. And I saw like a lot of potential in the world of wax. So that was pretty much the journey here.
That makes sense. I think Funko brought a lot of people in. Like, I mean, I know that's when like kind of the Dr. Crispy community in general, and that's how I found like Sully and you and a lot of good people through the collector world that kind of came into the wax world, which I think is pretty great. Like, because there's a lot of people just only interested in play to earn games and stuff. So I like the fact that wax is kind of branching out into the actual collector crowd and people that aren't, you know, snobby and only into flipping profile pictures from Ether and stuff. I do think we have like a better community in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, like the collectors, it's all about like, you know, the art and the community and just kind of like that need to get like a full collection, like, you know, go complete, go 100%. So it really kind of worked and vibed well with like our whole community, our collector community.
How did you come up with Soonay? Like, what's the inspiration behind the figure?
Oh gosh, so like maybe a year and a half ago or so, I did a Kickstarter, and this is totally random, but like it was a Kickstarter for an Eat a Bag. And I told myself, like, you know, deep down, I've been wanting to do a designer toy of my own, but I hadn't like talked about it a whole lot with anybody. So it was just kind of my little secret that like if my Kickstarter did like super well, like enough to not just fund the bags, but went over a certain amount, then I would use that extra money to fund doing a designer toy, which is not cheap. I mean, the way I did it was relatively inexpensive compared to like some other options that are out there. But, you know, you still have to pay like hundreds of dollars for like the digital sculpt, hundreds of dollars for a mold. And then, of course, there's a price like per piece as well. So since I did the Kickstarter and it actually did like well enough, I was able to use that as seed money. And so then, you know, once that happened, I actually like got to the like literal drawing board and started sketching out different ideas. And since a lot of my artwork is based on Asian folklore and myths, I wanted to do something kind of along those lines. So Soonay, I came up with Soonay because I wanted to do something that was like a kitsune, which is a supernatural fox. So, you know, a lot of people think it's a cat, but it's actually a very super stylized fox. It's kind of a combination of like the, well, you know, what a fox looks like with like the tail and all that, but also if you've seen a kitsune mask, it's a little bit more like kind of flat, like the nose doesn't really protrude as much. So that's part of like the stylization is kind of like a hybrid of all that.
Let's see if I can pull up some images. I didn't actually know that it was Kitsune.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was a cat, so I learned something.
Yeah. It's fine. I don't, you know, it's whatever you want it to be. It's what's
That
in
is
your
true.
heart.
It's whatever's in your heart here.
That makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, that's dope though.
Who would I
Oh,
want
man,
to
here's
voice
a good
Soonay in the movie?
question.
I'd want you to voice Soonay in the movie Jungle Bry. You've got the part. You're hired. When can you start?
So do you when you say you like made the mold and stuff, are you physically like putting the stuff into the mold, or do you like outsource that?
Oh, so the way it started was I hired people because, it's like you have to like know you have to have a lot of knowledge in this world on how to like do all this. It's all hand done. So I hired people first. I hired someone to do the digital sculpt. So I did a bunch of sketches like from different angles, like the side, the front, the back, and then kind of like art directed them through it. Like they showed me something, and I kind of said, "Oh, can you change this, change that," until it got to what I imagined. And then from then, that person did a 3D print. And then that was shipped to Bean Largent Art, who specializes in mold making. She's basically like a genius when it comes to molds. So she created the mold. And then at first I had her do like all the resin casting, because you have to have like a lot of equipment and at least some skills to like start doing it and to do it properly. But as things progressed, because this was like over a year ago now, I wanted to learn how to do more of it on my own. So I recently, I think it was like in March actually, I released Todatai, which is the tiger designer toy, which I'm going to start doing. Like actually today, I think was the first NFT release too of Todatai. But that one I did almost entirely on my own. Like I got Nomad Sculpt. I did a lot of the sculpting, but I couldn't get it quite right. So I had to hire the person to like finesse it for me. And then he 3D printed it again, sent me the prints, and then I did the mold making for the first time on my own. Like I figured it out. And then I've been doing like a lot of the resin casting for Soonay. And then I've also been doing all the resin casting for Todatai as well. So that's been kind of my journey. Oh, there it is. So hopefully
Cool,
you'll see more Todatai NFTs in the future as well. It's the new baby.
I totally read that as Toratai, but how are you saying it? Todatai?
Oh, you can say Toratai. Again, it's what's in your heart. Lewis, what's in your heart?
Yeah, I didn't quite know the process very much on that, like the physical and creating those like resin casts and stuff. So the 3D printing makes the mold, and then you get the mold and then make it by hand from there.
Yeah, so once you have the mold, it's like a silicone mold. Like if you do the resin casting, you get like a 2-part ingredient mix. So it's kind of like liquidy sort of. So you have to mix the 2 parts together, and it's a really fast process sometimes if you get the fast setting kind. So you have to mix it in like a minute and then start pouring it, and then you actually like physically pour it like inside the mold while it's still like in its liquid state. And then pretty quickly it starts setting up, and that's when it turns into like that hard plastic. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot to learn, but it's a lot of fun to learn.
Yeah, I feel like you get connected to it though, like connected to your artwork. You're just building this up from the ground up by hand.
Yeah.
Are you like hand painting it as well once it's cast?
Yeah, and cleaning it too, because like sometimes if it's like with the mold, there's usually at least a couple of parts to it, so you get like these seams on it. Sometimes just depending on how the mold, like when it comes together. So there's a lot in the cleanup process too. You have to clean what's called the flash, like if the little pieces stick out that aren't supposed to be there. You have to clean all that up and then do some sanding and stuff. So it's like really intensive, really hands-on. There's a lot of work. So if you've ever wondered like why designer toys are so expensive, that's why. And actually, once you do it yourself, you're like, wait, these are actually really cheap for like how much work it is.
Yeah. Wait, so how long have you been developing the Soonay brand? I mean, like, how long since you like first introduced the character?
It's been over a year. Soonay's birthday is in March. And actually, Todatai's is in March as well. My birthday's in March. That's so weird. Yeah,
that was unintentional.
It's unintentional, but it kind of worked out because WonderCon is in March, and so it was like, oh, I want to like release it for like an actual event. So it just kind of worked out that way. But yeah, so Soonay is, let's see how many months. So March, April, May, June, July. So 1 year, 4 months for Soonay.
I guess it's not that long in the grand scheme. So like, where do you see like, so you go to all these cons all the time. Like, what's the future of Soonay and your art?
I want to like, keep making more. And, now that I've done the process with Torotai, I'd like to, continue that. Maybe not anytime soon because I'm like super busy with all the conventions. Like summer is basically like con season. Oh, and con, like, I don't mean like, you're ripping someone off. Con is like in our world, con is short for conventions. So it's con season. So once that's through, if I get like bored, maybe I'll start thinking about like what I want my next figure to be. It would be really cool to have like a whole world of Soonay and friends, and have more little buddies, more toys and characters to add to it.
Yeah, was there a wombat in the future?
Actually, after I did the Soonay Loves Wombats one, I was like, oh, this wombat's cute. I almost want to like do one of these as a toy.
I'm sure that's a huge pain though, because then you have to make a new mold and everything. And
oh yeah, I have to go through the whole process again.
Here we go. So, do you use a vacuum chamber for the resin before you cast the pieces?
Oh, so that, I mean, I would love to have a pressure pot, but at the moment I'm in a small studio apartment. And so I have to decide, like, I probably need to clear out some space if I'm going to get one of those. But that is something I would love to have. It's like on my list, my wish list. I would like to get one day. But for now, I just have to be very extra careful when I when I do the resin casting, because sometimes you get bubbles and stuff. So I just have to be really careful with like the temperature and, there's a lot of factors and variables that can help like reduce the bubbles. So I just have to be like extra careful, extra safe with that. And until I'm able to one day have room for a pressure pot.
Yeah, can you clarify? So is the pressure pot just a tool that just makes the resin casting more consistent? Is that the
really
idea?
quick? Also, I just need to announce our blend is happening in 20 seconds.
Oh,
okay.
Everybody wants to do this blend. It's about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of similar to like a crock pot or something. So it basically kind of pushes the air, and that way, if you have bubbles in there, it kind of pushes the bubbles out, and it just gives like a much cleaner looking cast. So I still have Being Large into some of my casting if it's like a very clear, like transparent kind of resin, because like you do definitely notice bubbles in that. So I still have her do some of my figures, but I've also been casting some of them myself too. Good luck on the blend.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also,
we usually do them in like 28 batches, so we'll see how fast the 100 and change go.
Also, Max, do you need to be let in? I can't tell if you're available right now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt.
I saw you pacing around frantically on the phone.
Hi, Max.
Let's see. I got
a
version of our blend.
Oh, I did make a mistake on these. It's a misprint, which actually kind of works for what the content is. But has anybody mentioned it yet?
Well, you spelled rarities wrong.
No, that's not it. That's just normal Max. So
Okay.
That's a normal mess up.
it's a part of the visual on the card, or I'm like, oh, I literally was looking at the render for like, I slept on it, saw it, and I didn't notice, and I like had put it in the pools by the time I noticed.
Wait, on the artwork itself?
But nobody's noticed.
Is it on a different rarity than lit?
It's on all 3 rarities.
Oh.
Crypto Winter
Let's
is.
see if anyone's noticed.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It is the bottom right corner. Usually has a logo.
Oh, the Neon logo.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we were so decimated by the crypto winter that
the budget ran out. All right, well there you go. You can rip us off now.
I was gonna write a thing about it once I noticed it. I was like, I wonder if anyone's gonna notice this other than me first, but I'm glad I'm the one who noticed it, and I can get ahead of it, and no one can be like, "Hey, you fucked up." I'm like, "No, hey, I fucked up." So
You should have just really owned it and been like, I did it on purpose, you guys. Winter is coming.
Exactly. That's why I was like, oh man, at least like if any of them are gonna have something like that missing, I like this one. But I got to check which ones did I pull here. I just did a few.
Well, it's funny. Everyone's saying this is such an important interview that you're standing for it, Max.
Oh,
I was actually contemplating doing my own Max setup today because I had my computer plugged into my projector so I could watch Counter-Strike. And I was like, well, if I'm already halfway there, I could just run my mic cord to my couch. But then I ran out of time to set it up. One day we'll do a dual couch stream here.
Yeah,
We should all just be all of us laying down.
Oh yes.
See, people rag on it, but have you tried just chopping it up while laying down on a comfy couch? I mean, it's pretty nice.
It is. It's underrated for sure. I
Don't
would be
like you
doing it
try
right now, but my circuit breaker kept flipping in the other room and like killing my computer and my TV out there, and I was just like, I don't know how
That's
to
not
figure
good.
this out. Like nothing's plugged in either. But the power grid here in LA is just trash. So
I also wonder if it's because they're doing construction stuff like next door.
that could definitely be. But out here in my room, I have battery backups for all my computers, so even if the power goes out, it's not gonna wreck my stuff.
I saw at least Comic Standing asked, "How do you feel inside each time Sasha says your name as Priscilla?"
I think it's pretty cool because, like, it sounds like Priscilla, like you're a killer. That's
that's like your rap name.
Yeah, it is my rap name. I'm going on tour.
Well, I think if we're learning anything, that Priscilla's cool with anything as long as your heart is cool with it.
Yeah, as long as your heart is pure and friendship.
Nice.
So Hamster sent us this Soonay and Toratai Love San Diego NFT that we'll give away. And I think he said this is
nice.
a pack that is no longer available, so you can no longer get the packs for this, but we'll give one away here. So if you weren't able to get a pack, you can still have a chance to win one.
Oh, this was part of today's drop. It's part of an autograph project for San Diego Comic-Con.
How did the drop go? Did it sell out?
Yeah, it sold out pretty fast. I did half of the drop. Like the 2 pieces that were LE50 came first, and those were whitelisted only for people that have San Diego Comic-Con tickets. Like I did a Google form and actually went through and looked at everyone's like proof. Some of the proof was really not good proof, so those people were thrown out. So we did that, and those ones they sold out faster than I thought. I was like, oh, there's like maybe 20 people. It'll probably be there, and there's leftovers after 10 minutes. We'll make it public, but I think they were gone in like a couple minutes maybe. And then shortly after that, the LE100 pieces dropped. And those were gone in a couple minutes too. So it was, thank you to everybody who bought something. But they're part of a project I'm doing where I'm going to have an autograph NFT at my table at San Diego Comic-Con at Artist Alley. And I'm going to give away free like autograph kind of NFTs. So it's just going to be like a claim code, a QR claim code on a paper because cell phone reception's like super bad in there. I'll just hand it to you. If you ask for one, you get one per person per day until supplies run out. And then you can claim your free autograph, and then you can blend it with one of the 4 that dropped today and turn it into a signed NFT. So it's kind of like, you visit Artist Alley and you get stuff signed, kind of the same, trying to replicate the same experience, but for NFTs.
Yeah, that's really smart. I like that a lot.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead, Lou.
I was just say we're going to start the giveaway. ! Play if you want to join. Gotta do the audio.
You do all your own blockchain stuff, so are you setting up all these like drop pools and blends and things? Are you like a one woman show here?
Yeah, I do everything. That's why things get messed up sometimes because I don't know what I'm doing all the time.
Because I think that gets overlooked, like setting up the pools, setting up the blends, like setting up the mint structuring and stuff. It's not exactly, it's pretty straightforward with like nifty tools and stuff, but it's not simple, and there's a lot of points of failure that you could screw it up, and we do it all the time.
Yeah, like one misclick and it's just like, oh, I was saying the other day, I have like just a trail of dead templates that like haunt me. They will haunt me forever.
Yeah, if you want to show empty templates on Atomic Hub, you'll see just the graveyard of all those things.
Every collection has those. Even Funko has those.
Do they? Well, that makes me feel better. Okay.
Yeah,
Funko, Hot Wheels, they mess up.
Wheels, they all fuck up. It's a
even
human
the
touch.
Wax Project Blockchain Brawlers has dead templates, and they friggin' made the blockchain. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. So it's not just like, oh, I just suck at this. No. Like, we're all human. Mistakes happen.
My first dead template, I felt like that too, and then I felt way better. At first, it was like that, and then my like solace was like, well, it's an art collection. We're artists doing this stuff. This is the human touch. So it's like, it is not even like that devastating, even though I wish it wasn't there. And then like the longer it went, making
That's
an
a
NFT
good point.
project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's real. It's like it's real people.
We've had
It's not
big
making
moves
it. We're
too,
not like
like
tech experts necessarily.
our first Crypto Monkey version, Max spelled Crypto Monkeys wrong, so we had to burn like I think
Oh.
1,800 NFTs. We minted all of
Did you
them.
say 1,800?
I made the
Yeah.
template and then minted them all too. Without
Oh my
fucking counting.
god. Oh no.
Yeah, you know,
We've shored up the
These
QC
things
process.
happen. They happen to all of us.
it's it's intense. It does, yeah, but mistakes happen, and I feel like it is nice to see that on the blockchain. That just proof that like real people were behind this and they made mistakes just like anybody. How'd you first get into like doing crypto stuff? I mean, that must have, it's not like a very direct link between doing art and then being able to.
I said earlier, she got in when Funko got in through like
Oh.
Dr. Crispy's
Yeah,
PG.
Funko and Sully and Dr.
Damn.
Crispy.
Wow.
Did you
well-
just
well
teach
done.
yourself all
Yeah.
of the blockchain stuff, or
Yeah, because there's not really like a lot of good guides out there.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like just kind of stumbling around, and you know, it helps that like you know, with Dr. Crispy, he helped us a lot, and Sully, you know, so just kind of like, you know, we're all just kind of feeling our way through it and trying to help each other like once we figure something out. And you know, so I guess if anybody's like coming into this a little later, it's probably nicer because then you have like all those of us that made a whole bunch of mistakes but figured it out and can explain. But yeah, it was just a lot of like trial and error, and trying to find little tidbits of info where I could. But yeah, because as we were saying earlier, like I do the art, I do all of it. So
Yeah, that's really impressive, especially considering like the tech side of what managing a collection is.
oh, thank you. Yeah,
involved.
and
Yeah,
that's the word.
not-
Like, it's intimidating talking to you guys because you guys really know what you're talking about, and so I'm just like, oh, I hope I don't get like any hard questions. Like I'm not gonna know. Like your Tech Talk Tuesdays, I'm just like, I don't know what they're talking about. But Max has a soothing voice.
I know it's like I don't really know the words, but man, I feel really comfortable.
Yeah, in a soothing voice, I'll tell you extremely esoteric, like high finance strategies that you can participate in peer to peer.
Yeah, I mean, I will say like the amount of resources and like tutorials and tools have definitely gotten exponentially better, specifically for Wax, over the past even like year. I mean, we started April of last year, and it was basically like Crypto Stash had like the most stuff you could kind of figure stuff out, and like any observation a little bit. But any observations put out a lot more content since then and kept it up to date as well as things shift and change. And I think other people get into that space as well. So it's cool to see. I think the barrier to entry to be like, hey, I'm an artist, but I don't know shit about blockchain. Let me figure this out. Is getting lower and lower to be able to at least participate.
That's the coolest thing to me in general, to hear like, oh, you got into this through the art side of things, the Funko like drop basically, and then now are able to manage and run your own like, you know, blockchain based NFT collection without having a background as a tech person. Kind of proves the concept that like a lot of anti-NFT like criticisms I've heard over the years, where it's like, yes, but even if it allows for those things, real artists and real people don't know these techs and will always be exploited by the tech people who do know them. And here you are kind of like disproving that that criticism, and I love that.
Yeah, because I knew nothing, zero, like negative, like about any of this, and had to learn it. But and I've been saying, if I can learn it, like I think anybody can learn it, because this is not like really how my brain works. So yeah, like I think anybody could jump on board, and as we were saying, like with the growth of the community and the pool of knowledge that's happening now, like anybody that does want to jump in at this point is going to have like way more resources, and they're going to have a full community behind them that can help explain and guide, and you know, step by step, like this is how you do it. So yeah.
And the fact that community is now more and more consisting of real artists, like that are, that's what I like to see.
Yeah, we were also helped by, like, when we got into it, we had to ask a bunch of people for help. Like Recourier from Metaforce helped us a lot. Dan from Immersis literally like did a video call with I think Max and Mark and taught us how to use bounty blocks to do airdrops and stuff. So like, even though we are somewhat technically proficient, we still had a lot of help, and like we found, especially on Wax, like people encourage new creators rather than like, this is my space, stay the fuck out. Like, I want my market share. Like, I don't know if it's like that on the other blockchains, but on Wax, it very much seems like people are inviting of new creators, which I appreciate.
And a lot of the information we've gotten from other people would be like, hey, we're trying to do this thing. How do we do it? They'll teach us for free. You know, they'll take like an hour to like sit with us, explain it, show it, go through the whole thing, and like don't expect anything in return, which I think is pretty unusual. You know, most of the time it's like, hey, you have something that you want, something that I have. Okay, you better pay me for it, and then I'll give you that knowledge.
You had to caveat that with some people also reached out and offered to do the same shit for money.
The bounty block specifically.
Some people are like, oh, I could help you do that for like X amount of dollars. And it's just like, okay.
Gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
I mean, I don't blame them for asking for the business, but we also politely declined. Yeah, what's the response that you get when you talk to other artists, say at like the conventions, be like, hey, you know, I do this NFT thing. What do you think about it? I'm curious what other artists in that sphere kind of what their perception is.
So it's it's interesting. I would say, as far as like, let's start at the convention side of things. Like, as far as conventions go, toy conventions are very, very welcoming of NFTs. Some of them, like DesignerCon, actually partner, like, you know, they partnered with Vivi. So some of them are like really cool with it. Anime conventions are kind of like, you know, they're, I'd say about halfway there. You know, sometimes I ask conventions, hey, can I put your name on my NFT? Not like, you know, on the actual artwork, but like just somewhere in the information saying, you know, let's say Crunchyroll Expo exclusive or something. Some of them are just flat out say no. So like Comic-Con says no, because like Comic-Cons tend to be more print focused, and actually particularly like paper print focused, like art prints and comic books. But anime cons are more welcoming towards everything. So like Crunchyroll Expo actually said, yeah, you can use our name, just make sure it's not like our logo or something. So they're kind of like half and half. And Comic Cons, again, just flat out no, like they're no, like they're not into it. When it comes to people, artist alley artists, no, they're like, they are very, I would say like 99% of them are very anti-NFT. And like, they all read that same article that came out 2 years ago about that one artist that did some ETH like drop and figured out how much energy it took. And everybody based their opinion on that one article, and thinking like every NFT out there takes like a gazillion like energy to create, and you know, terrible for the environment, and everything's a scam, and they have this like really, you know, like bad perception of it, and they're so stubborn and so vocal about it that I don't see them necessarily changing. But what I do see is that there's like kind of a bit of a turnover of artists. You know, it's a lot of hard work to do conventions. There's a lot of traveling and setup and stuff. Wombat's back. So I think like at some point these artists are going to eventually just like retire or go on and do other things besides conventions, and eventually new artists are going to take their place. And at that point there might be a little bit of hope of like maybe convincing some of them that NFTs aren't all that bad. But the current artists, like, I don't think they're going to change their mind, because that means they'd have to admit for the past 2 years they've been wrong. And I don't see that happening. So the like artist alley artists, kind of at the moment, not a lot of hope. I would say toy artists are going to probably be the next ones that are more welcoming and embrace NFTs. I'm already seeing some people in our community that are starting to do them. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Barely, but he does designer toys, and he's interested in creating his own. Schlo, who has his own designer toys, starting to make them, and they're all part of like the Nerds Unite community too. So I think there's a little hope here and there, and I think as the years go on, there will be like more artists that are into it. We just have to keep like pushing it and show it's not all evil.
Yeah, the funny thing that fascinates me is like the opinions on NFTs isn't like hey, that's for you, I don't want to do that, but to each their own. And it's not like that. It's like, no, I actively hate this.
Yeah.
I need you to know that I want this to just burn a fiery death.
Yeah. I mean, the way they react when you say NFT is like you threw acid in their face or something, and it's like, oh my God, dude, just live and let live.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. There's a lot of like statistics that float out there that are either just inaccurate or outdated or just, you
Mhm.
know, kind of just one slice of a very complex picture.
Mhm.
But you know, they just kind of hammer that home. I feel like if you change, even if you change the name, like if you were to say, oh, wouldn't it be cool if someone had like a physical of your art, but they also had like a digital copy too that they could like share and display in a digital space? They'd be like, wow, that's really cool. I would love that. It's like, well, that's an NFT. They're like, oh, well, no, I hate it. I hate it.
Well, and what's funny is they're actually doing that because they're like, "Oh, I'm going to be so anti-NFT that I'm going to give people digital copies of my art, and they can use these digital copies as blah 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 and look at them." And it's like you're doing exactly the same thing. It's just not on a blockchain.
It's NFTs without actual ownership.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you can see like the value in it, right? So you know, I feel if you same thing with the gaming thing, a lot of AAA game studios just kind of hate that. They're like, oh, we're never gonna do NFTs, but we would do digital ownership on a private license. You know, we would do that.
Do you find that the convention goers are more open minded, like the people collecting stuff? Are they more open minded than the artists
Yeah,
themselves?
yeah. It's only the people that like hardcore follow specific artists and the very vocal artists that are very much against NFTs. They tend to be like, kind of like of the same opinion. But generally, like, because the audience at Comic Cons it's all collectors. It's people that are there because they like nice things and they want, they like fun things. So they're like way more open. And that's how like, Funko got so many of us into it because we were already collectors at heart. So this is just another avenue for us to collect other stuff that doesn't take all the room in our homes. So it's like kind of perfect. So yeah, definitely. And I even noticed like I have to be really careful how hard I push NFTs at certain shows. Like I don't talk about it as much at like certain Comic Cons, but Designer Con, I feel like I can because again, it's a toy con and they promote NFTs there. So there, and I was doing blind bag drops. You had a 20% chance of winning a free NFT in the blind bags, which they all had an enamel pin in them. So there were people like that I didn't know, just strangers that wanted to buy the pins too, and they would get an NFT and they'd be like, "What's this?" Like because it would just be a paper with instructions on how to redeem it, and we would explain it, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's like really cool," and just like they're excited because they get something else for free, a free bonus. So yeah, I like from what I saw, like attendees, like I never heard them like saying, "Oh, NFTs are evil" or anything. It was just people that are like, "Oh, cool, something else," like then and it's free. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You ever
Did
see those
you?
people like pop up in Discord and stuff? Like, do you ever notice them joining the community afterwards?
I haven't. I don't think I've noticed that, but probably also because like I didn't like really push my Discord until I got into like Wombat Dungeon Master. So like I haven't. I think it's going to take these shows for me to figure out if any of these like actually translate to people joining like the community and Discord and actually saying like, oh, like this is cool. Like how can I get more of this? So we'll have to see. I think over the next coming months we might figure that out and see if there's more of that.
It does seem like since San Diego Comic Con's like kind of officially pushing some NFTs or has their own NFT thing, it might attract more people that are into that. But I'm curious to see how that goes down since as you said, some people are so against it. But then
Hmm.
I don't know. I sort of think the general public is going to get on board, like whether there's certain really vocal artists that don't like it or not. Personally,
Yeah, hopefully. I'm curious to see what the reaction will be, but like people tend to be like keyboard warriors when it comes to online stuff, and then when you meet them in person, suddenly they're really quiet. So like, well, I'm kind of almost thinking people might think like NFTs in their head, but they may not express it as much as they do like online. It'll be interesting to see.
I think like with everything, like the minority is the most vocal, and the people that are like yelling and kicking and screaming, it's like that's pretty small subset of people, but they're just the loudest, so that's what you hear the most on the internet. And like
Yeah.
most people aren't like vehemently against NFTs, I don't think, but the ones that are do like to let
Mm.
everybody know their opinions constantly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of people out there that don't even know what NFTs are. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Oh, well, yeah. Speaking of keyboard warriors, maybe this is the good segue into the con drama portion of the stream here.
Oh my god.
I'm so
Um,
excited.
oh man. Okay, I actually made an outline because I'm like, I don't want to forget anything. I made an outline.
It's like a PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to preface this by saying this does not have like I don't for those of you that have never been to a convention before, I don't want to scare you off. Conventions are amazing. They're so much fun. So this should not represent to you what conventions are. This was just like a big old poop show. Like, and I also want to preface it by saying like we had the shutdown for 2 years, so it may not be entirely their fault. It might just be like people forgot how to like do this. So
I do think that's a good point. You kind of have to like retrain your social skills with COVID. I do think that is something where like, man, like what do I do with my hands? It's been a while I've been in public.
I just
Okay, so
carry a couple mugs around.
all right.
It feels natural.
Okay, so it started out with setup day. They call it day zero. It's the day before the convention starts, and we're all there. Like the exhibitors are there upstairs. The artist alley was downstairs. We're all, loading in and setting up. I walk in there, and it is like 80 something degrees. Like the air is not on. It is so hot. Everyone's like sweating, and I'm like trying to be careful. So I'm wearing a mask. So I am just like practically like just suffocating and like trying to do my set. Like it's a lot of like hard physical labor. Like you're carrying in all this stuff and then setting everything up, and it was just like it was so terrible. And I get there and I didn't know. I thought they called the artist alley the basement, so I'm like, oh, it's just another floor. No, it was part of the parking garage. They just sectioned it off. I'd never been to this convention center before. Actually, it's in your neck of the woods in LA. They sectioned off a portion of the parking lot, or the parking garage, so you could actually see like the painted like parking areas, like the parking lines and stuff. So that might be another reason why the air was like super bad in there, because it was like a garage, and they're not meant for like people hanging out in. It's you leave your car and you go. But anyway, so that's what I arrived to, and then like maybe a day before that, we got this email, and we were supposed to be there at 10 o'clock each day. The show opens at 10 a.m. in the morning each day. We get this email last second, and it's like, oh, the fire marshal says that maybe we will open early, so we need you to be there at 9 because we might open at 9. And I'm like asking her, I'm like, is everyone doing this? And I asked like the exhibitor floor, and they're like, we got that too, but it's at 8 a.m. for us. So like, I don't know what's going on. So we're all there like super early. The show never opened up at 8 or 9. It opened up at 10 a.m. every day. So we lost like a couple hours of sleep, just like having to be there and sit there for an hour or two. Anyway, so day one happens, and there was like all this drama. This tweet went viral because apparently like exhibitors were coming in and security was throwing out all our food and drinks. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to a bunch of people. There was people that had like special dietary needs and stuff, like so they brought their special food. There were people that were running their booths by themselves, had no helpers. So that was their lunch for the day. And these hours that were like, it's like an 8-hour day, not counting the 2 hours extra in the beginning. It's like an 8-hour day of work. So you're there, and like, if you have all your water and your food thrown out, then you're basically just going to starve until it's over.
For a long time. Yeah.
It's a long time. It's like, and to not have water, I mean, it's bad enough not having your lunch, but throwing out your drinks too is just like,
yeah,
really
it's like 90 degrees and you're outside.
yeah, it's like super hot. So there was a lot of drama about that. There was a tweet about it, and it went viral. And finally, Anime Expo, like the official like Twitter account, was like, "Oh, let's look into this." So then, like after that, I guess they like fired the security that like did that. But it turns out the security came onto Twitter and were like, hey, what happened was we were hired on a week ago. We were told to throw the food out. We didn't know. We were just following directions. They haven't given us any communication. So we were just like, trying to follow orders, and now I'm fired. So it was just this whole huge mess. So there's that. And on
was
the
there
first
just no security after that, or what did they replace the security?
I don't know what they did. They just, I guess they fired the people that were like in the picture in the tweet, which was like a few.
Oh damn! So they thought they were told like
It's like
no
bullshit
outside
too.
food or drink
Yep.
was the thought. Okay, I see.
So they were just misinformed because like if
Yeah.
you go on the Anime Expo website, it actually says you can bring in food and drink, even if you're an attendee, not even just exhibitors, but even if you're just going, you know. So that was like definitely wrong on their part. And then the first day also, like I guess like they didn't turn the air on for certain parts of the convention center, so people were just boiling in there. People also were not wearing masks. Like it said there was a rule that you're supposed to wear a mask. Oh, let me also let you know, 400,000 tickets were sold for this event. Just so
Damn.
that many
Holy
people.
shit! This is
Yeah,
over
a
multiple
lot
days.
of people were there. I would say about 25% of the attendees were not wearing masks, and nobody was doing anything to enforce it. So we were just like sitting there, and it's like, oh, okay, we're probably all going to get COVID or something like this.
100,000 mouth breathers
my
coming
God.
at you.
Security was too busy throwing away people's food to enforce
Exactly,
the
I
mask rule.
know, and getting fired.
Yeah, nobody could enforce
so-
the mask because they had all been fired.
And another, okay, going back to security again too, and all of this whole like the things about like COVID enforcement that they were supposed to do that they didn't. You were supposed to either be vaccinated or have a negative test result, and then you get like a wristband to show that you were okay to enter the building. I guess security after a while just got overwhelmed with all the people, so they just started handing out wristbands without checking. So that was not cool. So that happened. Let's see, let me refer to my list here. So after the convention was over, we saw another tweet that went viral where somebody went around with a carbon dioxide reader and taking measurements of the different areas. And it turns out in the basement, I mean the parking garage, off the charts, horrible air. Basically, like I was wondering why it was so humid down there. It turns out it was so humid because we were just sitting in people's like exhaled breath, which like is so disgusting. It's so gross. Even with the AC on, which is supposed to like dehumidify, it was still really humid down there. So we found out Artist Alley had the worst air of all the convention, and then the exhibitor floor had varying areas. Like some areas were like, oh, okay, but not good, just okay. And then corners of the convention center were like really bad too. And so I had a friend on the exhibitor floor, and I can't name names, but they almost fainted. Like they had to like sit down for a moment, and they said they had to wait for their vision to come back. And then like really bad. And then like I guess afterwards, one of the people they worked with at their booth went to the hospital. So like there's like bad side effects if you breathe too much, or you know there's too much carbon dioxide and not enough oxygen. And people, there was like a lot of reports of people like either having side effects or having to be hospitalized. And someone from Artist Alley started a Google sheet. It had a whole big chart of the entire Artist Alley. And so those of us could go in there and edit and say if we tested positive for COVID or not. And last time I checked, which was earlier today, it was up to like 45 tables downstairs that tested positive for COVID. And it's like, it keeps going up. Every time I check it, like the numbers are going up. So it's just like,
It sounds like organized chaos, and you have that many people. Like I think most people individually like want to do the right thing as far as like how they flow or where they should go or be polite around other people. But you just have that many people in a enclosed space. It's gonna get out of control pretty quickly.
Parking
There's
garages
no
don't have
airflow.
good air circulation. Like
There's like literally no airflow unless it's like there's a brisk wind.
Here we got some air quality stats too.
Well,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah,
there's
there
air
you
quality.
Yeah, it was like over 4,000. Like I want to say like mid 4,000s or so for Artist Alley. So it was like pretty bad.
like almost like cruel just to stick everybody in a parking garage. Like that did not seem very well planned at all.
I guess that's just how they've been doing it. I don't know. But also like this is the first one since the pandemic. So, maybe this was just kind of like guinea pig tester time and see like what not to do. Hopefully it's better next year.
Yeah, just like people forgetting their social skills. It seems like the event planning stuff has been really shaky coming back from pandemic life,
Yeah.
Like going to concerts and stuff. It's clearly like they're dusting off the cobwebs on the manual.
Yeah.
handle all the flow of people coming in and out.
So, I mean, again, like it's not entirely their fault because, yeah, like you said, they're like having to get back into the groove of things, but also like, oh man, like I wish they would have enforced things a little bit better.
At all.
I survived. I've taken 2 tests since then. I'm still negative, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, you dodged the bullet there at least.
Yeah, I was like thinking about like, the Matrix, the scene in the Matrix. That's what it feels like. Con crud, the flu, COVID, just trying to dodge all that.
Yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, you have all
Right.
like the exhaust from the vehicles coming in and parking, and then there's no airflow to kind of circulate that out either. It's a lot of bad variables all in the same place.
Have you ever had a visitor come cosplaying as your character?
Oh, actually, and they might be in chat. There was a convention last year where I did one that was like inspired by like a sports team in San Jose. So I did like a special like variant of Soonay for that, and then somebody, Cassius Clay, if he's here, dressed up as like that particular variant. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Damn, I bet that was exciting
yeah,
too.
I think I saw it.
Is it on this list?
Yeah, if you scroll down. Okay, I think I see it on the left. The silicon.
Oh, like far left.
Yeah, so Cassius Clay, he's here. So he dressed up as this particular Soonay with like the jersey, and then he had like the Kitsune mask and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, that was cool.
Cassius Clay was the first.
Oh, it's like the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah. I don't really know a lot about sports, but like it worked out with the colorway and everything. So it was like, oh, let's just lean into this.
Nice. That's great. That's also like.
Oh man.
What?
Here's Eric. Yo, what is the cringiest thing you've experienced?
Ooh, that's a tough one because there's so much cringe. Okay, let's go top. Can we do top 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. The floor is yours.
Okay. A couple years ago, I was sitting alone at my artist alley table, and this dude walks up. He buys a print. He doesn't say anything. And then out of nowhere, he's like, what are you doing after this? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see my friend. And he's like, want to get dinner? He doesn't even tell me his name. And I'm just like, don't ever do this, you guys. Don't corner someone because we're sitting at a table and we can't run away or anything. And just kind of push you like, let's go get dinner. Let's go get drinks. And I'm like, I don't know you. And I just played stupid. I'm like, oh, I'm going to see my friend. We already have plans. Sorry. So that's one. That's one cringe. The other one was actually the opposite of that. And it was actually the same convention, that Silicon one. It was at that convention, and I had this really interesting booth neighbor, and he asked out one of his customers and he got shot down. It was really bad. That was really bad. Don't do that either. If you guys are ever selling at a convention, maybe don't ask out your customers. And then he tried to invite himself to our dinner plans and got shot down again. So that's our top 2.
Oh, yikes. Oh man.
So the San Diego Comic-Con's in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
There's more opportunities for cringe moments.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, add something to the list.
I was just gonna ask, like, what do you have planned? Do you have some special stuff planned for San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah. I don't know if you have that link pulled up, but it has like all of the exclusives that I'm going to be selling. Oh yeah, there it is. So I wanted to go all out. This is like one of my favorite conventions, and it's one I've wanted to sell at for a long time. And this is the first year that I'm going to be in Artist Alley. So, and it's going to be officially stickered. Like I actually got the licensing rights to use their logo on these. So I'm super excited. So a lot of these are going to have like the exclusive sticker and the limited edition. So this is the Seaside Soonay. There's 21 pieces, 2 chases. This will be sold on preview night. And since I have just a super tiny like half table in Artist Alley, I'm trying to like space them out. So like, do a release one day, do a release on a different day, just so I don't have like too many things crowding my table all at once. So this will be sold one of the days. And then, if you scroll down, there's these ones I actually cast myself. It's a special UV resin. So if you take it out into the sun, it turns into like a dark blue and dark purple. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot of fun. So it's a very limited one though. So only 15 pieces and I think 3 chases. And then we have the
Like
first
you call it the sunbather too.
yeah. I figure it works for San Diego too, because the beach and stuff. And then these are the Galaxy Todotai, so it's the first exclusive for Todotai. So excited about this. This is the biggest edition of all the toys. This one has 33 pieces and 2 glow-in-the-dark chases. And I don't remember what days. These will be, I think I had a release schedule somewhere, but it shows like what day each of these will drop. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
And
let me post this link too in case somebody wants to
oh, thank you.
check it out in the chat.
Sully says that was supposed to be our secret. Oh no.
He was joking that he was the guy that was creeping on you.
Coincidentally, he was also the weird neighbor that asked someone out. Oh, and these will be a larger edition. These are enamel pins. So, oh, and I forgot to mention the figures. There's going to be an NFT accompaniment with each of them, so you're guaranteed a free NFT redemption. So these pins, these are blind bags, so you can't tell like which one you're going to get, and it's a different rarity for each colorway. Some of them glow in the dark, some of them have glitter, so they all have like different kind of aspects to them. And there's a 20% chance of pulling an NFT, and it kind of scales to whatever the rarity is. So like, the common will have the most NFTs, and then the ones that are rarer, which are the 2 pink plated ones, will have the least amount of NFTs. So
So when you say like pull a chase, is that like in reference to just the NFT side that you pull the NFT, or is there like a chase rarity, like you're in the blind bag and you have a chance to pull like a rare physical as well?
Oh, so the chase.
I'm familiar with the chase term.
Oh, sorry. I should have explained that. Yeah, it's actually like it's a term that's used a lot, like with collectors and particularly with Funko. It's usually like if you have an edition of a toy or another collectible, the chase would be like a very small portion that might have like a slight difference to it. So like let's say with your NFT, like Max's chase would be like the one without the logo on it. Like let's say just like a small portion. But the chases for mine would just be like let's say on the seaside Soonay, they all have sailboats on them, but the 2 chases on those ones would be glow in the dark whales. I don't think it's pictured there, but I have a picture somewhere on my social media so you can see them. And then the UV, like the sunbather one, it has like some drawn floral stuff on it. So there's 3 pieces where it has like some additions on it, like more painting. The Todotai figures, you can't see it, but I just use like this transparent glow in the dark paint and painted little stars on it. So you can only tell if you're like in the dark. So the chase would just be, oh, sorry, what?
How do you distribute those? Is it like, do people just blindly get them, or is it like random what people?
Yeah, it's RNG, like if you pull it or not.
Like yeah, I guess so. For the physical chase, like that's cool that you have like the physical and the NFT side kind of extra special rarity. But like, are people reaching in a bag and then they have the chance to pull it? Are you like reaching in the bag and just handing it to them? Like, how does that RNG pull literally happen?
So let's say for the figures, like I would just choose like some random, like whatever numbers, because they're all numbered. So nobody knows which numbers are the chases. I'll usually just pull whatever I grab first, but if people want a special number, they can tell it to me. And if it's still available, I'll usually let them have it. Just because like the NFT mint number is the same as whatever number figure you get. So if you get like the number 1 figure, you get the number 1 mint as well. But you don't know if the number 1 figure is the chase or not. It could be number 15, it could be number 2. Like you don't know. And I don't know because I have a terrible memory, so I forget which one is which. So yeah, it's completely random. The only thing is there isn't a chase NFT. Like you get the same NFT, it's just the mint number that kind of varies for those. And the pins, those, I guess in a way the NFT is almost like a chase because it's a 20% chance, like you might not win an NFT. So 80% chance you just get the pin by itself, but 20% chance you get an NFT for free.
Okay,
That's
yeah, I
pretty
see you have some percentages on the pins here as far as
Mhm.
how frequently each or how many of each one exists.
Yeah, and like the rarest one of this would be what's called the pin proto or a raw pin proto. So it's basically just like 3 pieces that have no enamel. It's just the plating only. So it's like super special, and people like to try and get them just because the collector in us, like we want something that's rare and special, and that's something that nobody else can get. So and those are extra special because they are guaranteed an NFT. So it's LE3 for each plating, and it's LE3 for each NFT if you happen to pull one of those. And it's a 2% chance to get one of those pieces.
You
That's
So it's
find that
kind of like a
people
pack. It's like an NFT
yeah, like a
pack.
pack run. Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
find that people normally ask for one first? Like, do people want like does mint one slash the first labeled one? Do people ask for that one before the other ones generally? Like, is there in the NFT
Yeah.
space everyone
Yeah.
wants mint one? Do people do that in the physical space as well?
Oh, in the physical space, I think people are just happy to get what they can get. Sometimes I'll ask them, but sometimes it's like if there's a line of people, like we're just trying to get through them. So I'll, I don't always ask, like if it matters. But I also try and grab them, like if I can, I try and like order them like in the number so the first person would get like the first piece. But yeah, I mean, I would say like maybe one per session might be like, oh, I would like this number. But yeah, most people don't seem to care too much. I think it's just like they've been in line so long and we're all delirious from no sleep. So we all just forget. Oh, and this is one of my exclusive prints. So I have an open edition. The variants are going to be on metallic paper. That's why it's like extra shiny and kind of like a glimmer to it. And it's a different colorway. So these are limited to just 50 pieces. And they have like the official sticker on them. Not on the print, but like on the packaging. And then I think there's one other print too that has Soonay and Tototai together. So that's the other exclusive print. So that's also 50 pieces.
Yeah, that one has the neon style for sure.
Yeah. Nighttime. Oh, and we're also going to do a meetup because of the blind bags mainly. So Thursday night after the convention closes, we're all going to meet up at a bar, like one of the hotel bars, and I'm going to give away some prizes and stuff, give away some NFTs that you can only get if you go to the meetup. And it's also a chance if you buy those blind bags for people to trade. So that way people can get like their complete collections or get particular like variants that they want. Oh, and these stickers. So these stickers are going to be free. There's a free sticker each day at my table while supplies last. It's LE, I think 50 for each of them. So it'll be a different design each day, like preview night and then Thursday through Sunday. So you can keep coming back and get a different sticker.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. It's another like an in-person drop or something.
Here's a good question. So, like, typically, how many of the physicals do you make, like, for, say, this con here, like San Diego Comic-Con? How much are how high are the supplies here?
For resin pieces, it's typically around like 10 to 25, which I know is super low, but they're all handmade. Like, you have to actually physically make the toy and clean it and sand it and paint it. And it's all just like a really long process. So like, I can't like, I wish I could make it a bigger edition, but just physically and time wise, like you're limited with like how much you can do in a certain amount of time, especially when like conventions are back to back. It gets like more difficult because there's just less time. If I ever like were able to do a Kickstarter for like vinyl pieces where it's like a manufacturer does the whole thing, then like editions could be a lot larger for that. But when it's resin and it's all handmade, like it like there's no way to make it like a really huge edition.
Is
I
that
don't
what
think
you
it's
mean by
cooler
the
when it is more
LE
limited.
21? Does that mean like limited edition 21? Am I understanding that right? Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
that's the number. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
I'm learning something here.
I feel like as a collector, I like having rarer things. So I kind of think the smaller editions are cool because it's like then
Mhm.
less other people have it. So you're like, yeah, I got this really unique thing. Whereas if something's
Mhm.
more mass produced, it doesn't feel as like special, I guess.
Yeah, that seems like a hard balance to strike. Like, obviously, you want to scale up and spread your artwork with more people, but also keep the character of what it is, which is you hand making it. Seems
Mhm.
like a hard line to walk,
Yeah, and I think a good balance would be if you can do both, which I try and do with like my art prints and pins. Like I have open editions and then I also have like limited. So, you know, if I were ever able to do vinyl pieces where it's like mass produced pretty much, I would still want to do these resin pieces too, just because like, you know, yeah, like you said, it's more special. And as a collector, that's like kind of what you want. Like you want something that like other people, not everybody has, kind of like your flex.
Yeah. And the resin pieces are only available at the cons, or is there another way that somebody who isn't at a con could get one?
Sometimes I'll do online releases. I definitely did a lot more during the pandemic. Like this and like enamel pins were kind of my pandemic projects when we were just at home and had nothing to do. So like during that time for sure, like, you know, all the conventions were online, so there's no other choice. Like they were all like online drops. And I think like once it's not con season anymore, I can try and do like some more online drops just for the folks that like can't make it physically to like all these conventions. But you know, basically now through the fall, I would say probably the only way you're going to get some of these pieces is if you go to the conventions themselves. So we have a San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to have some pieces for Crunchyroll Expo in San Jose, and then I'm also going to have some pieces for Emerald City Comic-Con. Actually, do you guys want to like have a sneak peek? Like no one's seen this. We could do like a little first release, like weekly. Let me go grab something.
Oh man,
exclusives.
Now that I'm standing at my desk, I have all
Emerald City Comic-Con. Let's see.
I have all my vinyls at my desk here.
In August.
Okay, so Crunchyroll Expo is like a week and a half after San Diego Comic-Con. And Crunchyroll, like their colors, just so you know, it's an anime convention. Their colors are orange and white. That's just their branding on everything. So this is going to be the exclusive. It's a Todotai figure. Oh no, I'm big. And so it's going to be like a little stripe, kind of like I don't know. It's almost like ice cream colors or something.
Yeah, I like the striping effect.
Thank you. Yeah, so it took like you know, you'd have to pour like the orange and then wait and then pour the white and then wait and then pour the orange. So there's not going to be a whole lot of these. Plus, it's not like a convention that's as large as San Diego Comic-Con, so I think it's okay. So we're going to have these. I'm not sure if I'm going to have Soonay or not. I'm going to have to see how much time I have. And then for Emerald City, I still need to paint these. These were cast by Bean Largent because they're more translucent. They're glow in the dark. And since when Soonay figure was added to Wombat Dungeon Master, it first staked for uranium. So these are going to be uranium Soonay.
Oh, nice.
I forget how many, 20 something pieces for these ones. So I still need to paint it. But yeah, that's what's to come. And then there's going to be NFT accompaniments for each of these.
How fast do they sell out when you start at like Emerald City Comic-Con? If my sister goes to that. If I'm like, hey,
really?
can you get me one of these? Is it like you got to be there day one?
Yeah.
Hour one. I figured.
Yeah. I think people sometimes line up for it too, kind of early, so they sell out kind of
right
fast.
Away. Yeah, like everything at the conventions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just tell Kati not to slack. You know, just be a good sister.
Like, hey, whatever you're going, I just like Kati, whatever you're going to do, like the reason why you're here, like just forget about that and go do what I want.
It's raining outside. Go line up in the rain.
Well, she's married now. I mean, you can just split up, divide and conquer. You know, that's why she got married.
Or they both line up.
Go to the basement. I'll be like, go into the basement. And,
no, where there's no air.
Yeah. Bring your ventilator, respirator.
So so that first one, the striped one, so that one wasn't painted that way. You literally cast the resin in those layers.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is all resin so far. I still need to paint like the eyes and the nose and the mouth. I'll do that later. But yeah, this is all just the actual resin itself. So there's a nice like kind of pearlized for the orange resin, and then just plain white resin in between. And then yeah, it's the striped effect is the resin itself.
Oh wow.
Hey, that's cool.
Pop Paragon says East Coast has a severe lack of Soonay or East Coast visits other than NYCC.
Yeah, and I applied for NYCC, which is the same weekend as TwitchCon, and I got waitlisted. So now if I get into TwitchCon, then there will be no NYCC for me this year. We'll have to see, let fate decide.
Where's
Is
TwitchCon?
that going to be on the East?
San Diego.
Okay.
Sucks for the East Coasters.
Would we qualify
guess.
for TwitchCon? Is that something we could qualify for?
Oh yeah, you guys should apply for something for that.
I haven't even heard
Or
of
at
it.
least
I haven't heard of it
attend.
until right now.
That could be fun.
Oh,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really cool convention. Like I watched an Artist Alley vlog on YouTube, and he was like walking through it, and it just looks like a really cool vibe. And there's like a ton of like huge streamers and stuff. So even if you're just walking there around, like walking around and attending, it could be good like promo opportunities for your channel. Because all you have to do is talk to one huge streamer, and instantly a whole bunch of follows.
Yeah, I'm curious,
Gotta
like
go
in
there.
the Twitch community, how the NFT, what the temperature on NFTs are.
Mm.
There's a decent bit of
Yeah.
crypto NFT folks that use Twitch particularly as a platform.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Twitch is kind of like one of the homes of NFTs at this point, like Twitch and Discord. So I would think it'd be okay. And again, it's not like, I mean, I don't know how the temperature is for like the Artist Alley, but it just seems like as far as streamers go, I would think that they might be more open to it, especially if there's an opportunity for them to like, promote something, have something to talk about, because that's content. So I would think it'd be okay.
Never know till you
Got
try.
another question. You said, Priscilla, have you ever added glitter to your resin?
So far I've done like pearlized stuff. When I had Bean Largent do some castings, there has been glitter for some of those. I actually think there's been a little bit of glitter in some of the pigments I've used. But yeah, there's definitely been like some pieces like San Diego Comic-Con when they did their virtual one last year. I did a piece that had like some glitter in it. I have another piece that's going to come out later this year that will have glitter in it. So yeah, there's been some, and there's some that are in the pipeline right now.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, so how does like a day play out when you're at your booth? If you're selling out all your resin figures in like the first 20 minutes, then you got like 7 hours to go.
7 hours of disappointing.
Then people kind of come for the pin, and then the pins kind of sell out probably by lunchtime, maybe, and then you have stickers. Is that kind of how it plays out?
Oh, so I mean, I have all my regular Artist Alley stuff too, like my open edition prints, my open edition pins.
Okay.
So just like, all the normal stuff that I would bring based on like how big my space is. Like San Diego is super small, so I'm just going to have a small selection of pins and a small selection of prints. But one where I had like a full booth might have like, all my pins, all my prints, my bento boxes, backpacks, like all kinds of stuff. So I have all of that like on hand. So even if like the exclusives sell out, I still have like a whole bunch of other stuff that I can sell and just like, continue to promote my art like to whoever's walking by.
Okay, I see. So it's the limited edition stuff, but then like the rest is around. Okay, I got you.
When you do something like Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con or like Emerald City Comic-Con that goes for multiple days, do you sell everything out on the first day, or do you then like save some that you intend to like sell in the mornings every morning, so that like someone who maybe comes on day 2 but still gets like, do you do something like that? Or
I did one convention where I tried to portion it out because I know people like that because not everyone goes the first day, or if they miss out the first day, then they have another chance. I did that one time and it was like a huge pain to keep track of. So now I'm just like, when it drops, and that's it. But San Diego, this one will be different. Just, again, because of the lack of space, I'm kind of forced to portion things out. But it's going to be portioned out by edition. So, one Soonay design, like Seaside Soonay will be one day, Sunbather Soonay will be the next day, Toratai will be another day, rather than doing like a portion of each day. That would be too crazy because I'm just, I'm one person, and it can be hard to like keep track of. I think you would need like a full team of people and a whole bunch of stuff if you want to portion it out, like kind of the way like Funko does, where it's like a portion per day.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Although I will say the people I know who are like hardcore into like designer toy collecting, they go on day 1 like hours before it opens. Like they're not like, they're aware at that like if you're not there like the minute the like line goes live, you're finished. So
yeah, like Best case, like you might miss out on the particular one you wanted, but you can get something else. Worst case, it's all gone, and then you get nothing.
It does seem, I like that you do like each day has its own specific limited edition release, and then maybe there's some trading involved in between that you can kind of do. If I missed Friday, but I got Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe you can kind of, then it promotes a little bit of interaction there.
For sure.
Can you picture what these bento boxes look like, or is there like a link we can show?
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll drop it in the private chat. Because I do have an online shop. I'll drop this right now.
Oh, that sounds sweet. You get a bento box and then you open it up and there's like Soonay figures in there. That's awesome.
And it was like a limited edition colorway of the bento. So I sell like the open edition are pink boxes, and it's a white box. And the next time I'm going to have those is probably going to be Designer Con, where it has like a figure inside the bento box. And then after that, I think the white bentos will probably be all gone at that point.
Oh man, I love these sushi pins. Oh my god, the sushi pins are awesome.
California roll.
That's weird. How come I can't get that screen to be bigger by just double clicking it? Isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah. How do you do that? Why isn't it working? I was trying to do that behind the scenes here. It's just wouldn't.
You click Shift plus 5 is the solo layout.
Okay, I'll remember that next time.
And then Shift plus 6 does the other layout that we were in.
Oh yeah, someone's asking if I'll be at Designer Con. Yeah, I was in Artist Alley last year, so it was just a table. But this year I upgraded to a full 10x10 booth. So I definitely want to like have a lot of pieces for that. Kind of like San Diego Comic-Con, I might want to like go all out with that, with exclusives and stuff. So yeah, I'll be somewhere. I'll be somewhere there.
So what's the difference between like the Artist Alley and like a full booth? Do you like pay? Do you have to like pay more to be in the booth versus like the open alley? Is that the idea?
Yeah, there's a difference. Like Artist Alley is almost always just a table, so it's smaller, but the price also reflects that. So it's usually just like, a fraction of what a full booth would cost. The downside is that there's usually more restrictions. Like certain Artist Alleys will say like no designer toys, no merchandise, like it can only be art prints or it can only be this. With a full booth, you have free range. You can sell like as long as it's not like, like as long as it's family friendly, then you basically can sell anything. Or you could even be like a reseller, like maybe someone who just sells like Funko Pops or something. But if you're an artist, then it gives you free range. Like, oh, if I couldn't sell toys in Artist Alley, I could sell them at a full booth. But then, it also means like having to pay like way more. So you have to be kind of like certain that you can sell, like say, X percentage, if you want to like actually upgrade to a full booth and actually have enough stuff to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
I like this fanny pack. Is this what's up? Soonay fanny
Paul
pack.
rocks fanny packs all the time. You should get Paul a Soonay fanny pack.
Yeah, he does wear his fanny pack all the time. It's called a sash, though, when he refers to it. So
because he wears it at an angle. It's not on his fanny.
Oh,
that's right. He wears it over his shoulder. It'll be on his fanny sometimes.
I don't know anyone that actually wears it on their fanny.
Yeah. He wore it on his fanny yesterday when he did a character that was supposed to be like a guy at like an orgy. So.
Wait, what? Is that what they do?
The character was like a A-type personality at an orgy. So he like had his fanny pack on and then like a little clipboard, and he's just like, okay, like can we stop the blowjobs over here? We're not scheduled for that until like 6:30. So it's just like this bit he was doing. It was really funny. Plus, he was basically naked except for the fanny pack covering his junk. So
just really your average day.
It did really well.
It's an average day for Paul. Yeah,
people loved it.
I've done that for audio gigs too, where I have like wires coming out of the fanny pack on my stomach area, and I'll have for my boom pole and stuff. But that's a very specific application that I don't think most people are using fanny packs for.
That is cool. Oh yeah, that sushi one is great. California sushi. Damn.
If there's
Is
any
there-
Star Wars themed or Star Trek themed Soonay's, I would be your first customer.
Is there a
Oh.
similar trading culture for the pins at like these conventions? I'm not as familiar with that, but I used to work at like Disney World in Orlando, and they had like these Disney pins, and all the like a lot of the guests were like very interested in trading the pins,
Mhm.
and like it makes a lot more sense at Disney, I guess, since they're all Disney pins. But is that also something that happens at these conventions where people will like trade their pins between each other? Is that
Yeah.
less? Oh yeah, okay, that's
So especially like if you aren't part of Artist Alley, this is probably a little known fact, but Artist Alley artists love trading. So usually towards the end of the convention, artists will go around to each other's tables, see what we want, and then offer to trade like pins and prints and charms and stuff. But I also like actually at Anime Expo, I actually had a customer come up and show me like an Eda bag of pins and said, "Would you want to trade one of your pins for one of these?" And I was like, sure, because I collect pins too, so I'm like, why not? So yeah, it definitely
Ooh,
happens,
nice.
and it for sure happens amongst like attendees. That's why I'm doing like the get together on the Thursday night of San Diego Comic-Con, just so people have a chance to trade the pins, especially when it comes to like blind bag pins, since you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely like a lot of trading involved.
That's cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that ramen one was really cool.
Oh, thank you.
I am the KY. Just said he ordered a bento box and a tiger roll sticker.
Oh, thank
Shout out
you.
to KY.
Yeah. Hashtag Soonbays. Hashtag free birds.
That's our Wombat clan, Soonbay clan.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I know you invited us to the Comic-Con get together. I'll have to see if Max and Paul are available. Maybe we'll make the trip down for the meetup.
Yeah, that's not
That'd be
that far, right?
cool.
San
Yeah.
Diego's like what, like 2 hours?
Yeah, I think it's a couple hours.
Parking might suck, but like if there's a group of you, then it's more worth it. And then there will be prizes and stuff, so that's fun.
We'll park somewhere and then Uber the rest of the way. Last mile solution, or one of those little Lime scooters, maybe.
That's a good idea. Park at the airport and then just Uber in.
Yeah.
That would be an idea.
Well, for context, I am not in California. They are in California.
Yeah.
We
they could
drove
just do,
together,
like, a
but I'm not in
standee.
California.
Like they could make a little mask, like a Mark mask, and for photos, and just hold it up. Like,
Yeah, you
Bring
can
an
put a
iPad
proxy
and-
in my stead,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like when they're on those like contraptions that like roll around. Because
I'll
that's
bring
cool. That
Mark's
would be
face will be
cool.
on an iPad so he can experience it. I'll just hold
Yeah.
Mark around and show him what's going on.
Quit cheaping out, Mark. Just hire a surrogate. Hire a surrogate to represent you. You just-
I don't know. There's got to be some dark-haired, bearded white guy that can see me. Probably a handful of those in LA.
You'll just be
In the
talking to
NFT
their
space,
ear.
I don't know.
Yeah, where will we find a pale white guy?
If only there were some of those.
All right, let's do another giveaway. We got the Soonay Love San Diego.
Oh, we have this
preparation for
too.
the- Oh yeah, we have a.
That's cool as
We
hell.
have a one
Shut
art. One art, please.
You want to hold that up?
Oh,
again?
hold that one more time. Yeah. That's super neon, actually. That's like
Yeah,
Yeah, I
straight
was
up
doing it in honor of you guys. Since,
Oh, perfect.
was
Oh,
coming
well,
over
that adds up. Yeah, it's like Soonay in a neon city.
yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
So
dope. And you drew that on your last stream, right?
yeah. It was
I wake
hard
up
because
to
I
it
was doing all these giveaways and trying to draw at the same time, and the giveaways kept ending, so I had to like stop and do that. I'm like, this was not maybe my best idea, but it also wasn't my worst, so it's okay.
Well, we appreciate it because it turned out awesome.
That
Oh,
looks really
thank you.
freaking cool.
I'm also thinking about maybe scanning it and making like an NFT, and then I could give you guys some if you want. Do an NFT at
I would-
this.
Sweet, yeah, that'd be
I'm
great.
all about that. I love collecting stuff physically, but I will admit it's way more convenient to just have my digital collection.
Yeah.
It's just like I can pull it up on my phone, be like, oh, here's this. I mean, I do have like my physicals here on my desk. I definitely love this guy.
You guys silly?
Oh, nice. Is that Kid Robot?
It is Kid Robot.
I have that too.
Oh hell yeah! I love he's got the Panucci's pizza and it even has the like
Yeah.
icy wiener. These are fun. Or here, if you recognize this character, possibly. It's another Kid Robot one, a little vinyl.
Nice.
No, Dr. Venture.
Yeah, I forgot. I lost his glasses.
They're
And then
gonna
here's
have
my.
exclusives too at San Diego.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, they do cool things. This is a
Mhm.
Funko guy. I like my Gur Funko. And then here, this.
Zim.
Yeah, from Invader Zim, but the character's name
Oh
is
man,
Bert.
I don't have a lot to show off. I just have my little Bernie Sanders that I got.
That's so cool.
Here.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
I don't know
That
how
is
well
pretty cool.
he shows up. But Bernie Sanders called at the inauguration.
Hold
I
on,
just
let
got
me.
my Funkos that I got from Wax. The Iron
Nice.
Maiden one.
Nice.
Here.
The burger.
Yeah, Star Trek
the Bernie
Funkos
Funko.
sometime. I don't know. All right.
I love this one too.
They said sometime in July, but it's still being processed, so I don't know. But in theory, Star Trek Funko should be going out sometime this month.
And then
Max, you have a good collection.
the box is hilarious too. It's got just like
All time I'm dead.
It's got
Tricky the Beast Bunny.
yeah, this one's really fun. But yeah, I got a couple toys. I used to have my desk just decked out. I was working like post production at like film and TV studios, so everybody just has desk toys, and Kid Robot is very popular in that scene.
Mm.
And it got me into this stuff. And then these ones I just bought when I was like at some, like the artist was there who had these. He had a whole set of like chubby breakfast cereal characters like that. I thought it was hilarious. But
Do you know the artist of that? Somebody asked. That's by Ron English, right?
yes, it is. Let's see, Ron English. You see right here. Got this. So he does. He has like a big collection of like.
Where did you get that? Was that in LA somewhere?
Yeah, it was in LA. It was like somewhere in like Melrose, some art. Like it was literally like what is it, like a vinyl like art, like handmade toy store. And this guy had like his stuff on display there, and there's a bunch of other stuff that was really cool. But I really liked the Twix one. Like he's hilarious.
All right,
Gosh,
so
you should go to Designer Con and buy all the toys.
Right? I that's my issue. I would like I'd go and then I just like oh what like fun bunny for $30 like hell yeah. The problem is I don't have anywhere to put it on.
that's where I'm at. Like my Funkos just kind of roam around my room. I don't even have. I think I'm gonna get a shelf though. Like I think I'm gonna get an IKEA shelf.
Yeah.
Start putting
actually-
stuff on it.
I actually saved these guys from these are McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
Oh, those are,
Oh wow,
those are
the
awesome.
OG.
They're super awesome. He's like noodly and you can like pose him and stuff.
That's a really good McDonald's toy.
Right? Oh, I went back for the Happy Meal like multiple days in a row.
How long ago was that?
That was 2015 maybe. That was a long time ago now.
Are they still
That was-
making Adventure Time? Are there new episodes coming out?
I think that show's ended.
Is
This
Steven
is,
Universe still going?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I like Steven Universe, but I definitely haven't stayed caught up with it.
I got those toys because I was like one of my friends from work was like is still super into like toy collecting as well, and he was like, oh, Adventure Time toys are at McDonald's. We got to go get Happy Meals for lunch, and I was just like, all right, let's do it. Like, and I've had those Happy Meal toys on my desk for a long time. And then I guess last time I showed this one off too, but this is like a Frankenstein that a friend of mine made, similar to your, but he carves it out of wood and then uses the wood carving to cast like the initial mold, and then cast this out of, I think it's also like resin with like glow in the dark added to it and stuff, and then painted it to make it look like dirty-ish. But that's Kevin here. He signed it for me. This was also in like 2013.
Yeah, what
Is that the one
kind
that
of
you
look do you
handle?
get for buying Happy Meals? Like, do they just look at you funny? Like, you sure you don't want a big boy meal there, bud?
No, not at all. They're super supportive. And then when they gave me they asked, I was like, can I get the Happy Meal? And I want Jake the dog. And they're like, yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, it wasn't even a weird request. But yeah, this is just like, I think, so Kevin made this kind of in like the style of Boris Karloff, I think. It's like the inspiration. So it's like a tiki Frankenstein was the goal here. I really like this. Plus it glows in the dark, which is great. And he
Was
makes
that
all
the
these-
same guy that made that candle you were talking about?
Yes, yeah. I have all the candles here still. Like it just sits on my desk, and I'll pick it up and smell it. It still smells like vanilla.
Buckle up, the magic cards are coming
This
next.
one's great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mark. Here, check this out. What I also have at my
Oh
desk.
no, look what you did. This is on you, Mark.
Well, the secret is I like seeing the magic cards. But this balls, but I like magic cards too.
Here, eyeball this, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you even have a magic themed holder for it. Okay.
Look at this fucking this black one is like a Comic-Con exclusive as well. That
Yeah, they always have exclusives. You should be going to all the conventions, Max.
you got this like shiny Jake the Mind Sculptor, Jace the Mind Sculptor. This one's like this one fucks. These are like all my Jaces, and then check it out, dude. This collection fucking rocks.
Yeah, let me maximize you now. Inadequate mass is our winner.
Yeah, all my Planeswalkers up in this
Oh, Max sells all the banned cards, so we all know he's a cheater.
Whole another page, more Planeswalkers. I love these characters. They're really fun to play with too. Plus a bunch of like alternate versions of them, which are dope. Like you got like the multi art, like that's the original. That's like the alternate. I always love that shit. And then got a whole another page. Look at this guy right here, Mark. 15 indestructible.
That's got to be a banned card. That has got to be banned.
Not only is that, it's 15 indestructible, can't be countered. So if you play it, you can't counter it.
What a stupid card.
And then here, here, listen to the rest of this too. When it enters the battlefield, take an extra turn after this one. Flying, protection from colored spells. Annihilator 6. That means Annihilator is if it attacks, the opponent has to, before they can declare blockers, has to sacrifice 6 permanents.
Yeah, see, I can't keep up with modern Magic. Like, it's just too aggressive of a gameplay now. Like, there's just some of the abilities on these cards are just out of control.
Oh, wait! Before I put it away, there's one other thing about that card.
Yeah, we're like seeing like a nerdy MTV Cribs episode for Max right now.
Yeah, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know where I put it. I have the alternate art version of him too. There's like a Friday Night Magic promo that I won. That's that one. But yeah, these cards fuck, dude. These are like the gem of my collection, and I started collecting in like middle school. So these are quite solid. I keep them on my desk, and I do bust them out and look at them every now and then. But like I said, I don't have a lot of more room for stuff. It's a fucking mess. I mean, like that's what I love about the NFT side of this. It's like, oh man, if I have nice, rare, one-of-one NFTs, they don't add to the clutter on my desk.
I see a lot of room on your walls for shelves, though.
That's true. That's actually what my friend who collects the toys has. Just like it's like 40-year-old virgin style in his apartment. It's just like
that's all of us. That's have you seen the whole of us in the Nerds Unite community? It's like that.
Yeah, that's untapped toy space, Max.
Yeah, he's aware of like new toys coming out from like literally it'll be like, oh, NECA is releasing like this new toy, and he'll be like getting in line at like a toy store to like get the drop, and then like there's a community of people who are like into that, and I guess.
That's us. You're describing us right now.
There's this guy who I keep running into whenever I get invited to those places. He's like Seth Green, maybe the guy who like voices Chris on
Family Guy.
Family Guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a huge toy nerd as well, and he's like at all of those openings, at least out here in like Burbank. Where, like...
Another weird fact about Seth Green is he's a Shakespeare nerd. Like my buddy did like abridged versions of Shakespeare, and he sent all of his notes to Seth Green, and he like gave him notes on like how to fix it and stuff, which is like that's not what I'm expecting from the guy who makes Robot Chicken, but I guess he's also really into Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's definitely a big community too, like much bigger than I thought it was. Like when he invited me once, he's like, "Hey, you want to come to this like it's like a midnight release for a new toy," and it was like premiere status. Like there's a line around the block, and like it was like a little party. It was just like,
just a block.
Oh yeah, it was substantial, and this is like midnight for the opening of like a toy. I didn't realize that was a thing. You know, like it was really fun. It's definitely a fun community of people who are like all just enthusiastically excited about what's going on, and like super inclusive and like very supportive of like everybody else's nerdom, which is fun.
All right, so before we give away the physical drawing, we'll give away one of these Soonay Extreme Promo Series 1 packs. These are packs you can only get from watching streamers. And I think there's a blend still open, right? If you blend one of the cards from this with one of the cards from your Play Through the Paint series, you can get like a color changing card, which looks pretty dope.
Did you get a neon from our blend? I had to blend quite a few, but I got one.
I have not. I only blended one, but I'll do more in the second half tonight.
Yeah, I got one, and I got one glow, and I got like 4 or 5 lids.
The one thing about the physical drawing is you will have to provide like your name and your address so it can be shipped to you. So
Yeah.
just FYI, people, you will have to provide that if you want to actually receive the prize. But that'll be the next race, not this one.
You'll be doxxed.
God, do you see this?
They can just
The Max MPV Cribs episode. Over here's where the magic happens.
Savage. That's savage.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, it's good. I had that coming.
Peter will probably be at SDCC, right?
What was that?
Peter, that's your friend, or you're talking about the like toys, right?
Yeah. He goes to WonderCon and SDCC all the time. He always asks me if there's anything I want, and I'm always like, get me these like San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Magic cards. He's always like, sorry, they were gone.
Yeah.
But he also has his own objectives, so he goes and does his thing first, and then he's like, I'll check if I can. And
We should tell him to check out the Soonay booth though this year.
I will tell him. I'll tell him that for sure. Like, get me some of these pins.
Yeah, or at least like some of the freebies too. You could get a free sticker, and he could get you the autograph NFT.
Ooh, yes, I would love that. I don't know if he cares about the NFT, but I definitely do.
Yeah, if
Maybe
he
we
doesn't,
could
then
tag
that works for you.
We'll tag team, and I'll be like, hey, I'll like if you go get that for me, I'll like I'll pay for it, and then you can keep the physical, and I just won't get it.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that'll be a nice way to like get him to. I mean, I guess we're friends. He'll just do me a favor.
Yamster said if they have magic cards, he can grab them for you.
I mean, good luck. From what my friend tells me, they're really, really like you got to be in line at the Wizards of the Coast like place, which is very popular. And it's like with NFT drops, those specific cards, you can flip them for like 4x immediately if you get them that day, like right away. So if you get them, I would love that. But I also understand if you get them, flip that shit for 4x what you paid for it, because like why wouldn't you? You know, like I wouldn't expect anybody to be like, oh sure, I'll do that for you, and just forego like quadrupling my money and spend all this time to do it for you.
Collector community though, like not the flippers, but like the collector community is all about like, yeah, I'll stand in line for you for 3 hours and not take any extra just because like we're looking out for each other. Like that's just the community.
That actually tracks. That's how Peter is too. He's just like, yeah, I'll try it for you. Usually he hasn't gotten it, but he's always like, yeah, I waited, and like when he's like, I couldn't get it, he spent hours trying, which is like unreal. This is why, But yeah, I mean, I would love it. I definitely like those. I mean, as you can see, they're, one of my, like, I get excited when I pull my Magic collection out. And it's fun to go, like, even just to go play at, like, a comic book store and bring those and see other people who are into the game, like, nerd out over, like, a collection that I've been building for, like, over a decade, So it's like, people are like, oh, this is so crazy. How'd you get this shit? It's just like, and I bought that at a garage sale in, like 2003, Like,
the hamster said he'll be going to the booth anyway, and he's gotten it in the past at multiple cons. So you might want to reach out to him.
I will absolutely reach out to him. Sure, that's cool. There's also
like, a lot of collectors here. Like it's not their first rodeo. They're used to like the campouts and how long the lines are. So like when they say I'll get it for you, like they know what they're getting themselves into.
Oh yeah, when you said that, I was just like, I don't know. Are you sure you can? I mean, like, that's awesome. I'll reach out because I do really like these. I've just not ever been able to get them. They're crazy rare, and it's like such a unique look too. I mean, I'll pull it out one more time just because, like, why the fuck not, right? Like, look at that. It's like straight up black. Like here, I'll have to pull them out a little bit so you can see it. I think this is super cool. It's just like, and it has like that foil finish and it's just like lights up blue. I really like this guy. It's very cool.
I know nothing about Magic or how rare that card is, but you being excited about it is cool.
This one I think is like worth quite a bit. The foil version of this. I haven't checked in a while, but when I got it, it was already worth like $100.
Uh-huh.
Which is crazy for a fucking playing card.
Like, yeah, when you think about what it is, paper.
Yeah, it's nuts. Let me look it up really quick. I'm curious now.
Yamster, are you going to go to the Soonay meetup?
Yeah, I think
But you definitely should.
he and another friend I think are gonna go to the bar a little bit early, like before the convention closes, just so they can like maybe hold some space for us. Like him and our friend Dave, I think are both gonna go over there.
nice. Damn, he's like basically one of the organizers.
Yeah, he's Yamster's one of my Discord mods.
Fuck yeah. Damn, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Maybe we'll, if we end up going, maybe we'll finally get to meet Yamster too.
Yeah.
Celebrity Yamster.
It's my arm.
My arm.
My arm got wham. Okay, there is no foil ones for sale at trading card, like TCG Player. And
Oh, so it's probably worth a lot then if there's
Yeah.
like none out there.
the non-foil ones are $50 already. So, geez, that's probably a pretty fucking rare card. I don't know. I'm not selling it, so I'm gonna look at
nice
it again.
to know.
Yeah, I had a few doubles that I did end up selling when they went up to like 50 or 40, $50 a pop. It was just like, for $40, like I pulled this from a pack, you know.
Just for the new people who are watching our stream, if you win a prize, you need to fill out this form and enter your Wax wallet and then your Twitch username, and we'll send it after the stream. You'll need to do it once. So if you've ever done it in the past, you don't need to do it again. But if you are brand new to the stream, go ahead and fill out that form, please. It just makes our life a lot easier. And before we do the physical giveaway, when's your next NFT drop or your next NFT related thing, Priscilla?
It's probably just going to be Comic-Con. So there's going to be all of the redemptions that you get with like the physical things that you buy. But there's always like inevitably people that like aren't into NFTs or they forget to redeem it. And plus I minted like a few extras of some of them. So there's going to be like some leftover pieces, and I'm going to decide whether I want to just like drop them somewhere and sell them that way, or if I maybe want to make like a pack out of them, which might be more fun if there's enough of them, enough left over. So you know, once Comic-Con is over and once the redemption period is has expired, then that will be probably the next release. And then following that, as I mentioned, there's going to be the Crunchyroll Expo exclusive, so that will have an NFT, and then Emerald City Comic-Con will also have an NFT, and they're all kind of like back to back, like a week and a half separates each of those conventions. So there isn't going to be like your typical kind of drop, but there's going to be NFTs available at some point from each of those.
Do you have a plan for your next like just online distributed drop, that so if people aren't like able to go in person, they can still support you?
Yeah, I mean, I still have like that one drop that's open. That's the Soonay Loves Wombats. That's just been open for a long time. I'm not sure when it expires, but that one's still up. And I have like ideas that I want to do for like another pack in the future, but you know, I'm gonna have to wait until con season is over. It's just gonna be like way too crazy with like all the traveling, and then like, you know, all the exclusives. Like I have to actually spend a lot of time making like these physical exclusives. So I have to wait until that's over, and then I can focus on like my other ideas that I had for like the next drops, the NFT drops.
For sure. So this is the drop you're talking about, right? The
Yeah.
Soonay Love Wombat Classic.
And I think it's like 50 mining power. So it's like a really like 80 cents for 50 mining powers. Like not a bad deal.
The link real quick on this other computer. NFT has been super slow for me lately. It's loading. When is con season over? Like, what is con season or convention season?
It usually like kind of has a slower start in the spring, and then summer is when it's like in full swing, and then it starts tapering out. Like, you know, there's the fall conventions, which is about the same amount as like spring conventions. And then once you get closer to like Christmas time, that's when it kind of peters out.
Okay. Do you go to the LA Comic-Con?
I haven't been to it before. I was actually scheduled to do it last year, but I got into Emerald City last minute, and Emerald City is one of my bucket list cons. So I ended up just like saying, hey, I'm not going to go. So they rolled over my table fee for this year. So this year I will be at LA Comic-Con, not in the basement, I hope.
Nice.
We were considering trying to do a meetup around that for like Neon Space fans, because I'm not sure how many people are coming out for that, but you know, we're from LA, so we're thinking about doing a bar get together. Max and Paul rent out theaters for comedy, so we were considering renting out a spot to try to get everybody together and hang out, but also not. I don't know. Depends on how crazy COVID's getting and stuff too. Like,
that would be cool, and it would be very convenient for me because I'd already be in town. So you've got my vote.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Like people be in town for the conventions anyway.
We're thinking if we could put it around a convention people are already going to, people wouldn't have to travel just for us. Our other idea is Vegas, which you think is fun. Are there conventions in Vegas that people go to?
Definitely. Right. What do you go to any of those conventions in Vegas yourself, or is there any like a Comic-Con?
Yeah, I did Level Up Expo. It was all right. I think it's one of those cons where it's like some years it's good and some years it's not as good. So it would have to, like, I'd only do it again if like my con schedule for like the bigger cons, like maybe if it were lighter, like if I got waitlisted for some of them, then I might do it again. That one's usually, I think, maybe February. So it's fun. Their focus is kind of like on, well, actually it's a broader focus. So it's not just like convention stuff. It's also like gaming and anime. But it's just a good excuse to go to Vegas too.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, that's cool. We could, if COVID's not too bad, we can have our own super spreader event.
You want to show the drawing one last time so we can show people what this last race will be for? Let's see, let me get you big. I think it's super cool. It's got the neon signs. It's got the Soonay. I even see the Toratai sign in the background. But that's what this will be for. So I guess only enter this if you're willing to give your address and stuff to win it, because you have to give your physical address for it to be shipped to you. But that's what this last race will be for.
Yeah, and I'll probably just whisper the person to get their full name. Like, I'll need your full name and your shipping address. And don't worry, like, I do a lot of shipping. I have my online stores, so hopefully I'm trustworthy. Since I have to get people's like addresses to ship them stuff if they buy things. So
yeah.
I have to enter too though, because I want a good trophy.
Yes.
So if I win, the second place winner gets it.
I sort of want to enter this one. I want that drawing, but
oh yeah, you guys should enter too.
All right, we'll enter.
Okay.
And maybe I'll put it on the wall behind me if I get it.
That's a great, hopefully.
Mindy says she'll give me her whole family's addresses if she could win. Like every address. Oh, Sully vouches. Thanks, Sully. If you don't trust me and you trust Sully, you can trust him to trust me. It's that easy.
Max and I can share it. We'll trade it off. Like some streams he'll have it behind me, and some streams I'll have it behind me, and we'll be a retainer between the two of us.
So Mark doesn't get like a share of that?
He's not paying attention.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's some guy yelling at me on Twitch about getting disqualified from a giveaway. So
oh no!
It's okay, it happens. But
Mark,
what do I get a share of? I like stuff. I want to share stuff.
It'll be like a divorced parents. Mark can get the drawing on weekends. Every other weekend, Mark can get the drawing.
Oh, there we go. I just want to look at it for a couple days a month. It'd be like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but with like, art.
The traveling Soonay drawing. That's great. All right. Oh, there it is. Neon space is in. I see us to the right.
And what else? We got blends going on in like how many hours now? Like 4 hours from now, we got the second half of our naked blend and the second half. I haven't reopened the other one, but we'll add more mints to our crypto winter blend.
Yeah.
I'll also show that off quick before we end.
Yeah, I got the neon. I already listened to the song. I was like, damn, neon, baby.
Oh, since I'm doing an NFT of this, the winner, if they want to send me their wax ID when they send me their address, I'll give them mint number 1 too.
Ooh.
Nice.
Let's go. That's super cool. That artwork looks really cool too. I love the Neon City background.
Mark the art narc. The name just keeps growing and I love it.
I know. I like snoop around in like different channels to see if people are being like, yeah, I keep hearing about this narc guy. It seems like the chatter, the rumor chatter has died down. So that's good.
I like that the rumor was like maybe this guy named Mark the narked on bursts.
I mean, the name, if
Oh
the
my
shoe
God.
fit.
Oh no.
I love that. It's so funny that's like, yeah, you got this like lore about you now.
Hopefully Burst gets back on soon. How long?
Yeah,
I
Does
think it
anyone
was
know
like
how
a
long that is?
7-day ban.
It's 7
Okay.
days.
7 days. Yeah.
He also said he's gonna
Not
start
hard.
streaming on Theta, I think it's called. He's gonna start streaming on another service as well. Just in case he
Oh.
gets banned again.
Is he coming back to Twitch though once it's over?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming back to Twitch. He's gonna dual stream to
Oh,
Twitch.
gotcha.
Is it Theta or Thetan? I don't know the name of it, but there's another. Ooh, that was
Oh, he wanted it too
Oh,
bad.
Funko Freddy, the winner.
too close.
You already won the last one. The game was like, get out of here. You
Oh, he's getting greedy.
Oh no, he's getting yeeted too. That doesn't look good. It's not a good line.
Nicotronic.
Ecotronics.
Oh, but a bunch of people are like
Montespuerto's
right
coming in
behind him.
hot.
Oh,
Oh, Montespuerto.
Montespuerto's
Oh, he's
going
running away
for
with
it.
it. I'm calling it for Montespuerto right now.
There it is.
Yeah. Nice.
Shout out to
Oh,
Montespuerto.
congratulations.
Oh,
I'm
and Yamster
gonna-
second place. Oh, so close.
Yeah, if you don't want to give her your address, let me know and I'll take the physical version. You
Take one for the team there, Lewis.
can have the Mint 1 NFT, but let us know, Montespuerto.
How generous.
Yeah, that's my offer to you. It's
We'll take it off your hands.
Oh, make it easy. I already have Yamster's address. Can't send it to my
Yamster's in
arm.
second, so if Montespuerto doesn't want it, I think Yamster should get it. Montespuerto
Oh,
says,
so-
"No, I'm fine, Lewis."
Yeah, sorry, I'm catching up a little bit. The Theta interface is kind of wonky. I've seen other streamers try to do it, and it's like kind of like stimulus overload. Although Twitch can be like that sometimes too, when people have like their like ads all over the place and countdown timers and all the things. But I don't know. Theta is a little bit of an assault on my eyes, my experience.
No, you don't. Random people don't need to send me their address. That.
Oh, yikes.
Ooh, Gesundheit.
Bless whoever that is.
That was Paul in the background. It's because
Oh,
I'm not using
bless
the.
you, Paul.
I'll
Paul.
mute myself unless I'm trying to speak actively. My mic doesn't do the directional blocking. Although I do have it right here. Yeet. Maybe I should have used this instead. Yeah. I always use that
Shop
now.
our blends real quick. Yeah. The first starts in 4 hours. There's 27 more mints left of that. 1 blend token. Wait, did the other one close already?
The which one?
I think it's out.
Yeah, let me reopen this real quick too then.
Oh damn.
I was not expecting that to sell out, but
I got myself a few, at least until I got my neon. Here, check it out. I've been practicing sign language too, right? So just curious if I'm gonna sign something, it's a quote from a famous movie, and if you can get it, like, then I'll feel good that I'm getting good at sign language. All right, you ready for this? I'll tell you, the movie is Fast and Furious, so that should help, right? All right, so here's how you sign it, because once I learned all the signs, I was like able to put this together, and I feel proud about it. So here it goes. Ready? It's any,
I mean, I have
any
no idea
guesses?
what you just said, but my guess would just be I don't have friends, I have family.
That's it. That's it. It's I have no friends.
Oh, I feel like Sully should have
I
gotten it. That's
have-
like his favorite movie. Where's Sully?
Family. Oh, people got family in the chat. BDAO recognized. Yeah, family is the F, and then you rotate it into yourself. That's family.
Yes, I believe this is the correct spelling of Gesundheit.
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 Yeah.
So I'm gonna show some setup to you really quick. This is kind of the chase blend for our crypto winter, which is our newest sign, only available through blending. get the blend tokens by either blending 2 commons, 2 dims together, 1 lit, or you get 3 for a glow of any schema outside of Burn Street. And that's on our NFT blend page. Or if you want, you can buy it on Alcor or DeFi Box, and then you can send 1 neon FT to tokenize NFT, and then you get the counterpart NFT. But also just hit us up in Discord if you have any questions specifically before you go do anything too crazy.
Yeah,
I like the music on that sign, by the way, because Lou put in like the sound of someone like walking through the snow, so you have like the crunch of like walking in winter,
and then the bear roars.
Yeah,
like halfway through, you
I
got
suggest
feel
added
the
a bear
cold
roar.
embrace of the bear market.
these bear distant roaring in the distance.
Oh, great job, you guys. That's awesome.
I also had to add the dumpster fire just because,
Yeah,
I remember the game has the flicker. Hey, look, there we are live on my
Oh,
YouTube.
what?
Thanks so much for joining us, Priscilla. It was fun to learn a bit more about you and Soonay and convention culture. I'm definitely a newbie to conventions. I've never really been to one besides Penny Arcade Expo in Seattle, but sounds like they're fun. I might have to start trying to dip my toes into the water in the
For
next couple of years.
sure. Yeah, you guys, it'd be fun to have you guys like all go to one and then have maybe like me and Sully on here and we could all talk about it and see what you
that'd be
think.
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Just ask the questions of, like, to get the perspective from the newcomers. That's actually a fun format. Like, because I feel like there's going to be things that we experience that we don't realize is happening that are just like standard convention things.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then it'll help like all the other
Follow.
people that like are new to it as well, like what to expect and like, kind of see it through your eyes.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in that now than I was in the past, which is weird because in the past when I was working on all those like Marvel movies and stuff, you can sign up for like professional passes to like a lot of those conventions that feature comic book stuff from Marvel. So it's like I had the professional pass, I signed up for it, and then I was just like, it's too crowded. Like, I don't want to go.
Oh, no.
It was like, too many crowds, too much effort. Like, yeah, you can just have my pass. And Peter always went. Peter, my friend who wanted, the toy collector.
Yeah, part that interests me is more the social part, like knowing that we know people going now. It's like, I'd like to meet these people that I've been talking to online for a while. So that's more of like what appeals to me than like I don't follow a lot of collectible brands, to be honest. Like as I said, my first 2 Funko are from Wax. Like I wasn't really collecting toys. Max is definitely the bigger collector in our group. I'm definitely more of a gamer, and I got into this space through gaming, but it sucked me into collecting. Like I first got in, I was like, who cares about mint numbers? Now I'm like, I need this mint, and like, it's definitely fun.
Mint 19 of my crypto monkeys.
Yeah, well, if you have any other announcements, just definitely let us know, and we can have you back on. Or next time you do an NFT drop, that'll be available for people not at cons. Be good to let people know, because it does sound like there's a lot of people in the chat interested. Or if you even do a physical drop, like a bunch of people in the chat seem interested in the limited edition stuff. If you ever do an online version of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like another toy drop online or something.
Yeah, I bet you could even do the opposite, where you could do an NFT drop and then have chase stuff, and people try to get those NFTs to redeem them. And it sounds like there's definitely some interest in the space for that. I know I would go for one of those if you had a pack where it's like a chance I could get a physical toy out of that, or even pins or whatever. But yeah, let us know.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about that because like that intrigues me as well. I was just wondering, like, sales tax wise, does that mean like suddenly I have to start filing sales tax and keeping track of all that? So just I'll have to think about it.
For online sales with NFTs, for the sales tax, the assumption is that the sales tax is part of the sale price. So you wouldn't have to like less or like take taxes out. Like if you sold an NFT for like $10, as far as like wherever your business is registered, it's assumed that the $10 is including tax. So then the like point of sale price would be like $9.10 or whatever, and the 90 cents of tax is already included in your.
Yeah, the difficult part is because you don't know who your counterpart is, like who's buying it or where they're from. Because in theory, they should pay the sales tax for where their jurisdiction is. But since in a decentralized space, you don't know that. It's referred to as like tax and gross, which implies that the sales tax is built into the price, like Max said. But it's honestly the best way that we can cover our bases, do it right without the information that we don't want to ask for, basically. But it depends on your jurisdiction. Like there's some like European creators that have to know because of like VAT tax have to know at least the country of origin of where their person is. And so like they require that level of KYC just to do their drops. But at least for us in the United States, that's how we've been doing it. And the Department of Revenue seems okay with that.
Yeah, it varies from state to state and sometimes city to city. In California, like I'm going to be different from you guys since you guys are like based in Washington, I think.
Yeah.
Since I'm in California, I checked with the CDTFA and they told me like you don't need to, like until the law catches up at the moment, NFTs, as long as there's no physical counterpart, there is no sales tax because it's digital, and that's just like how the law is. Like if I sell a digital commission, there's no sales tax on it, but if I print it out and sell the print, then there's sales tax. So for me, as long as the NFT is by itself, no tax. But if I start introducing like physical redemptions with it, that's when I think sales tax would start getting introduced.
Yeah, that's interesting. Washington State does consider digital goods as a physical item in terms of, I guess they don't consider it a physical item, but they consider digital goods in the same realm as physical items that they're subject to sales tax. But I called the Department of Revenue and tried to ask them about it, and they were like really overwhelmed. Like honestly, I just have no idea.
Yeah, that's also why we're like biasing towards we'll pay even if maybe you don't need to, just to be safe and not get like, because this is weird when you like call the people making like who are supposedly in charge of those like rules. They're like, I have no idea, like what even is that? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that that California had no sales taxes on digital goods. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Anybody have a recommendation for who to raid into? I only see one person I'm following streaming right now. They're doing Blankos if anybody wants to watch them play Blankos. But I'm going to wrap the stream up here. It's been a blast. We will be online again on Tuesday. I don't think we have an interview this week on Tuesday, so it'll be our tech talk on Tuesday. And do you have a schedule, Priscilla, for when you go live? Is it consistent, or do you just go live?
No, it's just like probably the next one will just be like a secret stream, which is basically whenever I have time or feel like it. But when I'm at the convention, I usually do like my nosy streams and walk around before the convention floor opens, just to kind of give people like a peek into it. So there will probably be one for San Diego. Otherwise, it'll just be like whenever I'm able to hop on.
Cool. Well, this is the Twitch if you want to follow it. She does giveaways for Soonay stuff, and then also like you drew today, so you'll do like live drawings. And I watched you one time when you're like packing pins and stuff. So if you're interested in the collector side of things, it's definitely fun content. And let me post the Discord as well, just in case people didn't get that earlier. But you also do giveaways pretty regularly in your Discord.
Yeah, there's a couple going on right now. One is for physical stickers, and one is for I forget some NFT.
Nice.
All right, well, let's play Buying the Dip. That plays us out always, and then I will raid into somebody playing Blankos. Or maybe I'll check out Bootops from BDO really quick. I'll see what he's streaming. But yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. And I'm also down to play some Fall Guys later tonight if anybody wants to hang out in Discord and play games. I'm down to do that.
Yeah. Also, not financial advice on what these people are saying in the song, although I love this song.
All right, here we go.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay.
I can feel the pain in his voice.
Yeah, you guys.
Here we go. Come on, push it. Buying the dip. Here we go. Come on, push it. Buying the dip. Here we go. Come on, push it. Buying the dip. Here we go. Come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all of this wanting by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. Short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of its stock, crush these companies into the dirt, thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the shorts, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buying the dip.
get together in a subreddit. I think it's really funny that the GameStop stock is going up and just affects the market in that way. There's 20,000 people live in a Discord who are spamming rocket emojis, yelling, "Go to the moon."
Go to the moon. See you guys on the moon.
Can't spell the first one.
Thousands of stocks into the dirt.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to raid into Ukrainian. Blankos is a really fun game. If you haven't played it, it's free to play, NFT game, kind of like Fall Guys. So check it out and peace out.
See you. Oh, Antoine.
Almost got into copyrighted music real quick.
Yeah. It knows what